I want to make this video as a follow-up to my tube farming video. There were a couple of points which I really wanted to talk about, but for some reason did not get around to it. Why? Well, do I have a script? No. Do I do planning? Well, not much. Anyway, let's do kind of a continuation. You have your tubes, bunch that you bought in an estate sale or hamfest. Nice looking boxes. Are they used tubes or new tubes? Here are some other quick tips. Okay, one that should be obvious is the number that's on the box should be the number that's on the tube. And the rule of thumb is it has to be all of the numbers. So let's look at these 5 here. Now, with these, they're both 6 CB6s. One's an A, one is not an A. There is actually a difference. Most of the time when they had an A, it was an improvement a lot of times for controlled heaters, for series string set, things like that, or maybe improved performance somewhere else. Let's open these up. They should actually be what is on the tube. 6 CB6? Nope, 6 CB6A. Even though that certainly looks like a new tube, and it's kind of the right tube, it's not original to the box because it's not an A. This one, same deal. Look at that. That screams to me new tube. The box says A, but that's not an A revision tube. That's not the right tube. I couldn't really call that an original new in the box tube. Now sometimes you get 2 numbers on a box like this. The good old 6AQ5A. Well, it was revised and turned into the 6HG5, which no one really calls it that. Still an AQ5 in everyone's book. But the tube should have both numbers on it. Well, you can see the original etch here that GE liked to do. And sure enough, it says 6AQ5A. If that was all that was on this tube, I would reject it. But you can see they actually did put both numbers. They did put that 6HG5 numbers. Maybe an afterthought. Maybe they had a bunch of 6AQ5As in stock. They tested them, saw that, oh, they meet HG5 specs. Let's call them 6HG5s. Bingo, there you go. And this, of course, applies to the European numbers, too. 6BL8 or ECF80. Both of those numbers need to show up on the tube, and sure enough, they do. New tube. Just like this one. Both numbers. Let's open it up. Butter knife. Sure enough. And for some reason, they printed it twice. There and there. I don't know why. Probably early Japanese Raytheon when they did all their production overseas. Okay, next point. Oh, everyone's seen these. Standard brand. Yeah, most of them are red and black, so they look like RCA. This is one of them that looks like a Sylvania. You see them that look like National Union boxes too. Just automatically assume it's a used tube. Even if it has an actual printed number like this one, a lot of times they're blank and the guy just scribbles in. Just assume it's a used tube, because the standard brand boxes, you just bought, the guys back in the day just bought them by the hundreds, just blank boxes just to put tubes in. And yeah, you could get them pre-printed or put a nice looking stamp on them yourself. Just automatically assume used tube. Next, you do come across tubes like this. I'm sorry the writing on this one is very faint, but sometimes you see tubes with handwritten numbers. Most of the time, just assume that's a used tube, that just some TV radio guy did that. There are some exceptions to that rule. like these light blue, white, and black GE communication service part boxes. This will be a new tube, and for some reason with GE, probably because there were low numbers, low production, probably as the depot needed them or something like that. They would just write in the numbers themselves. And you can see it even has the special GE Communications logo. It's this GE with this kind of flag-looking thing. So this is an exception to the rule where a handwritten number is generally okay. And the final point that I'd like to make is concerning the inking on the tube, the printing on the tube. This one's going to be a little difficult, isn't it? Let's try this end. Now, a lot of guys will say, well, gee, if the ink is all worn off like this, it's all smudgy and such like that, it's going to be a used tube. Well, that is sort of true, but really not always true. You do have to be a little careful because, as these tubes have bounced around in the back of a truck or like on my trailer going to show after show as my Hamfest stock, these things, they vibrated, and if you look in the box, I don't know if you can see in the box there, but, some of the red ink has actually come off on the little holder piece in there. Probably hard to see. I don't know if we can see it here. But, as this tube goes, the ink wears off. So when you do see ink that's kind of gone bad, this one's not too bad. Sometimes it gets really bad. That's not a universal damnation of the tube into the used pile. This is a new tube. It's been worn away. And the final point that I'd like to make is, well, we've determined this is a new tube, or let's pick another one here. Let's do this one here. We checked this tube out. One really handy tip to do is to mark your tube. What I do is I just put a little dot in the corner, and it's always in that corner. That's my proof mark almost. It's nothing special. Sometimes I try and make a nice circle, but a lot of times I just go boop. And that just shows you I've looked at that too, because when you get a box, a bushel of these things, and they're just mixed up and everything like that, you really kind of want to know which ones you've looked at, because it's kind of dumb to look at them through twice. So if you guys start doing this, come up with your own system. Yeah, don't use a dot in the same corner like I do. Get something else. I don't know. Put the dot in that corner. Make a little plus sign. Get a little Hello Kitty sticker. I don't know. Just make it a mark, a proof mark that shows that you checked that tube out. Okay, well, these are just the points I wanted to get in, but just didn't manage on the last video. So go watch that video. And then watch this video. Well, that's kind of dumb because you're probably watching this video first. Who knows? Anyway, see you later.